It's be interesting to see what the approach is. But like I said, I think if everybody focuses on what's important, like students being able to access this and feel good about what they access and be proud of the work, I think that's the bottom line. And I think that's what you always want to point out to anyone, whether it's an IT manager or college president or any administrator. This is about students. It's not about anything other than that. You know, and I've been willing to sort of take a step back and say, you know, let everybody else take responsibility. I don't care. It's not. I'd rather just get out the message and help train people, other departments, give you all the secrets of the trade. Because it's not about any particular person or department. It's more of all of us. It's working together as a faculty. And so it doesn't matter. I don't even have to be, nobody even has to know. Let the powers that be take all the, you know, say, they brought it. That's good. Okay. But hopefully it'll happen. I don't know, I feel optimistic about it, but I've set up a meeting with Apple, no, I'm sorry. Set up a meeting with IT, asked when they can meet with Apple. I informed Wendy, you know, and say, hey, maybe have the tech committee consider a subcommittee or something and meet with everyone. And I haven't got a response from IT about it yet, so. It's just a suggestion to say, you know, you guys should meet about this, and they're willing to meet the first week of December. So I sent out information about it. I've sent it to everyone, even Bob and Erlinda, and so we'll see. Hopefully that there'll be a discussion about it and it'll be some movement. But yeah.
Is the grant over in regards to the training that you had?
It's over in the sense that the training that I got was I don't see that. At least there'd have to be a new grant written, which is possible. I can certainly do some training, but like I said, one of the problems was that they waited like, I don't know, 8 months before we even got equipment and software. So I couldn't even be certified in it. And when I went back to use the software, I was like, okay, what did I do? What do I have to do again? And so I had to go through it myself. So I could probably train people on that sort of basic level, but other than that, you know, it's something I don't think I could do. I can show some stuff, but to get people functional and up and running, even in iMovie is pretty easy and intuitive. But
the little workshops that
the workshops that we went to,
those are
no, those are ongoing. Apple, those are Apple.
The grant paying for those
right is over.
That's over.
Exactly. And I would think really the school should. I mean, if they really actually, you know, I often wondered why they didn't have this sort of, why we didn't have some of these sort of professionals working on our campus. You know, like for instance, some people in some of these small vocational things. So vocational training. Why couldn't we have some, you know, come to campus or even, you know, even train a lot of us, make a special sort of arrangement, you know, where the campus pays. But I think there's options that could be explored in training, depending upon how the school embraces this or not, you know, or how people feel about it. I don't know. It's up to faculty to say, well, we want to do this, we'd like to do this, and it's up to the school to say yes or no, I guess, and some sort of negotiation. If you really thought this bond that they're trying to write, you know, that's going to integrate technology, this would be an idea to be written in the bond. I personally don't think you can plan 10 years down the road, but I think it's an idea that people should actually take back and say, well, maybe we should write in some training in some of these things.
I'm sorry. What has the math department decided as far as posting? Where have they decided that you were going to post all of your stuff?
They haven't. The idea is that the school posts it on the official school website, because that's what it was sort of written as. We will post it on the website, and apportionment will be collected for it.
But you're not there yet.
Well, we're kind of sort of there. We've given them like 85 files, and there's some problems, you know. But nowhere was it ever said or written that it couldn't be posted elsewhere. You know, that even though we're going to go through the official school channel, because we promised to do that, we'll do it. But again, I think we can still get away with posting anywhere else that we like, as long as we fulfill our obligation to the school, and we will. You know, we'll fulfill that school obligation, but in the meantime, you know, it's a matter of momentum. If we can post elsewhere and we get this, then I think it's more likely to continue. If we get stopped, you know, through sort of technical issues, that exist in the unit, and it won't go anywhere. And one of the problems is that the school looks at this as a way, I think, sometimes as, unfortunately, like, oh, we can start and stop all this at will. It's like, no, you can't. It has a life of its own. Like, if one day they say, well, we'll start it next year and we'll do, you may not have, people who have that passion and desire to get it done. You can't manufacture it. And so sometimes I think the school kind of looks at it from that perspective, like, well, we'll do it, and we'll do it this way, and they kind of, they should take advantage of, they should strike while the iron's hot, and get the ball rolling. But, I don't know. I can't. Again, I've had meetings with a lot of them over a lot of stuff, so I have different experience with it. I can't. It's not really predictable to some degree. For me, and my point, yeah.
I have two questions. Regarding the content of the lecture, is there any peer review committee to kind of review the content of the lecture?
No.
Because this is different from the classroom setting. Everybody can view it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there hasn't been any sort of peer review of content.
I think there should be.
What was written actually in the grant was that we do statistics and pre-algebra. So there's been some at least guidance in that setting, which is okay. We have certain expectations, but just like, for instance, and this is how the math department approaches it. We don't really tell each other how to teach courses and say, if you taught about this or you talked about this in this way or did that, then that would be the best approach. We kind of don't do that. It's sort of our freedom as instructors that we can approach a topic from, we'll get reviewed in evaluation, but we approach how we approach the topic and how we explain it isn't actually gone through that sort of rigorous review. And I think for good reasons. Like I said, there's sort of the autonomy of the classroom. I have some experience with K through 12 and some of the things that happen there, which is everything is scripted. And the autonomy of a teacher is just out the window. You go in and you say a script about reading or math, and it's a script. Because people have sat down to that degree. The best thing about the level that we're at is there is no script. And I think that if I got in that kind of environment, then that would be horrible. But we have discussion. We know what to teach in terms of the content. It's not that people are doing it on their own. But we're sort of also, Viviana and I are like the pioneers in it at the moment. So it may be one day that people want to do something like that. But I've had discussions with Larry Powell. Larry was excited about it. He's like, Jesus, he was really excited. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but so as chair, he was excited about some of the lectures, and not only just even, it was how it was presented. He thought was a good approach. We sort of had a philosophical discussion about that. But Larry has his opinion, and other people have their opinions, and so we just as a department don't really sort of say, oh, okay. We talk about it, but we don't make sure that people actually have to follow any particular, way of doing that. But we have agreed, at least in terms of the course, what would be covered, and so eventually what's going to happen is the whole course would be covered to some degree. Statistics. Yeah. Any other questions?
Also, this
Yeah.
may